And it still all boils down to, what you got in your catalog. Basically, what kind of material you got, who's plugging that material for your company to give it a reputation where everybody wants to go to your company looking for material. That it still boils down to that,
So we've got new artists out here. They're attempting to break a board. Now, we know one thing, that there will always be singers and songwriters and always a new artist to come along the scene. This is the first time in our history, in our lifetime, that we've seen so many one-hit wonders. What's the problem?
Well, this is another antage that goes with the industry. Every publisher will tell you that there's got to be 100,000 hit records out there on the street, floating around, that has not found a publisher to go to. And if they do find a publisher, usually the author won't give up a single point at all on his song. And he is faced with going right back out on the street with his hit song until he is willing to give away some of it to get to where he wants to go.
Some of the artists that you've been representing, if you had one artist that you had to let go not too long ago, and not because of basically what they did or didn't do, it's one of the things that was a telltale sign as time progressed on through this short relationship was that this artist was dismissed from American Idol 7 times, turned down 7 times at American Idol. When do you get a clue? If you're not a singer, if you're not really going to do nothing, at what point do you go, wow, I think I'll throw in the towel? What's happening with this?
I think it's a matter of somebody's priorities are not in the right order. I mean, it only should take once, twice the most to get rejected at the same pissing pole, and it's either that or, they're pissing down your back telling you it's raining.
So, in other words, if you want to go to American Idol and get turned down 7 times, then it's on you?
Yeah, and you think it's rain. It ain't no rain.
Okay, so there you got it, you young artists. Now, we had an analogy. Sometimes we think it is best to be turned down from all these song shows because you're setting yourself up for disaster. I mean, let's face it. In some parts of the world, well, here in our town, right here in your town, you had one artist actually get to the talk show, big show. Yeah, make it to the show and lose it. But at home, she's still a big fish, or was, as time slips away. What do you talk about? What happens with these artists when their 15-minute window closes down?
Well, first of all, they don't realize that when they go on these shows that even their name mentioned without even a camera shot on them can get them some kind of success. Well, the producers and all the the legal people and all that, they realize that. So what they do with these new acts is sign them up on every turntable that they can that legally makes this artist rejected or not by the show is signed by them. Anything they do within, I don't know probably a year or 2 years belongs to them, all simply because they were mentioned on this show. So any success that they get, they have to give it back to that show during that span of time, whatever it may be. So they're locked in, period. They can't, unless whoever's interested and wants to come do and buy the rights out from the TV, The Voice or whatever show it might be.
Oh, this makes really talking about the music business a little bit darker, doesn't it? This is the dark side of the record business. I mean, back in our day, all we wanted to do was tap dance and sing and write a hit record. We didn't know nothing about the business. Today's artist, wow, man, he's loaded down, ain't he?
Yeah, you recall the Gong Show, right? Now, I think that the Gong Show kind of set the standards on rejection publicly for anybody that didn't make the Gong Show. You know, that was, you don't want to tell nobody about that. And I think that bled over into the thinking, which should be still going on today, I would hope, is that if you go for one of these like Star Search or The Voice or something like that, and you don't make it, that'll come back to haunt you, simply because you didn't make it. You know, so I don't know. You know, you know, how desperate are you? You want to go to one of them shows and, you know, and get ate up with all nothing for you in the end? That'd be your personal choice, Ken. I think, wouldn't you?
I'd say so. But now there are some exceptions to this. Actually, two exceptions, I think, from the search. What was that search? Star Search. Yeah, thank you, Archie. He knows his stars already. What? Finishing number 2 or number 3 with Justin Timberlake. Okay, Britney Spears. I think Christina Aguilera. They didn't make the final cut.
Right, exactly. But who knows how long, you know, they were tied up to that show before they really could go on their own. You know, who knows how long that was. They kept them pinned down on paper that you belong to me. Anything you get after the show at this period of time belongs to us.
Whew. So, hey guys, we're trying to say is that if you're going to sign up with these singing shows on television, look, as soon as you sign on the dotted line, your career is locked up for 2 to 5 years. Okay? So, yeah, they got a piece of you. Now, hey, how do you get past these shows? Now, us as producers, this is what we say to the artists, like we used to do in our old days. You better cut a lot of CDs for yourself and just have preliminary releases through a third party. And that way you can probably avoid a lot of heartache.
Yeah, a lot of heartache and expense. You know, it depends. Like I say, you know, everybody knows that the record business is totally out of control now with the internet. I mean, it's whatever star you want to travel to.
Well, talking about the internet record companies, CBS Records opened up its doors for the first time about a year ago. You can go to their website and you can sign up on. Now, basically, when you sign up on their site and upload your music and pictures and what have you, you basically signed a recording contract with CBS Records, right?
Yeah, I would think. It seems like to me. I'm not an entertainment lawyer, but you know, there's nothing free.
So anyway, what's happening is that CBS has an opportunity to cull through everybody that's signed to them. They have no obligation one way or the other. The only obligation they're going to take is that if you start bubbling under and you start making a lot of noise, then they have the opportunity to switch your page to the major label site, right?
Yeah, that's what I've heard, Kenny. I would think that would be, yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, so there you go. CBS Records, you guys. You get a chance to get a list of labels. You can be on the CBS logo label. You can be on the MTV label. You can be on VH1 label. And they got another label you can be on. But it's all CBS Records. And they have opened their doors. So if you think you're good, go to their site. You can click on it and upload your material and get signed to CBS. And you get a chance to use their logo. Okay? They're just looking for hits.
One last word on that, Kenny. You should tell your listeners here that before you go in any of these TV shows to become a star, they're going to throw you out the door if you have a publicist and an entertainment lawyer, or you're signed with anybody, even for a roll of toilet paper.
So they want clean young artists. That's what you're saying.
No strings attached.
No experience attached.
Right, and nothing legally, nothing. Don't even come in with your family.
Ooh. So see, the major labels say, we want you in the position where only thing you're going to do is tap dance and sing. We don't want you to know nothing. We just want you fresh, clean, and baby-faced. But another phenomenon with this situation is that when the record business first got off the ground, the artists were older. God, I think the average artist that signed a record company was at least 25, 26 years old, right?
Yeah, they for sure. I would say so. The younger people like Tiffany, they all stayed in the teeny pop, or the bubblegum music thing, as they came up, as we called it, the bubblegum run.
But hey, check this out on the bubblegum run. Now, it seemed like it's all reverted back. After the bubblegummers have, over the past years we've been in the business, they have totally, completely dominated the business. Now we've got older singers returning back to the roots of the record business. I mean, I hear at your house sometime you have a radio station on that's from musicchoice.com, and you have these old blues records on, and we'll be sitting up here listening to some of these old blues records. Tell me what's so crazy, what's going on with this blues channel?
Well, that's a phenomenon, I think, Kenny, simply because by accident, as I showed you, some of these songs that they have on this station, the musicchoice.com, are dated within the last 3 years, and they sound like they were done back in the 50s, but they've just been done the last couple years, and they're smoking. It was unbelievable to see the dates on these releases.
So we were basically in the music business dealing with perfection, and all of a sudden these kickback artists, they're playing just like out the days when they used to pull out the tape recorder and microphone in the back of the car and just record, and it sounds just like that. I mean, from the old, back of the car garage recordings, and this is modern stuff. Tell me.
Yeah, it's 21st century blues that sounds like it was done back in the 50s. To me, I mean, I don't understand where the market is on the blues, but it shows me that there's got to be a market. There wouldn't be albums going out right this minute in this, in this market, and they're all, like you said, 50 style blues.
We're not talking about a lot of unknowns. We're talking about famous artists. Eric Clapton, for one. Go ahead.
Celine Dion there. Eric Clapton. Richard Keys. Who's the other? Leo Sayers? Yeah, Leo Sayers. The Thunderbirds. Catherine Russell. Okay. It's just unbelievable that these established groups are releasing albums in this market area.
You've been listening to R.G. Ingersoll and Kenny Smith, Song in Search of Its Singer. Thanks for listening.
This has been a production of SDC Radio Networks, a division of SDC Omni Media Group. This has been your host, Kenny Smith, and we thank you for listening.